name. Where are you from?
Well, my name is Marla. Most people know me as the Wick Lady. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, but I've been living in Florida for the past 7 years now.
Okay. And what brought you to Florida?
Well, I just finished graduating from college.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a psychology major,
Okay.
and I thought I was going to come down here and be somebody's social worker in a retirement home
Yeah.
somewhere. And things just changed for the best. So
Yeah, definitely for the best. I mean,
I'm telling you.
yeah, right. You started your own business. You got into the hair culture.
Yeah, I've always did hair since I was a little girl. I didn't think this it was going to be my career, but
Mm-hmm.
life has a funny way of showing you that what you planned is not what's going to happen, and sometimes we just got to let things flow and be free, like our hair.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah,
I believe in that. I believe that our hair is so much of a representation of life. You
yeah,
know, it really does externalize our energy. It helps
yeah.
keep us rooted. Even much so like trees. I feel like our hair is also a lot like trees too. You know, you can learn a lot from
Definitely,
nature.
from the roots to the
Mm-hmm.
stems to the bark. And
Yeah.
this is where I try to explain people about wicks. Like, imagine them as every piece is a tree growing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most important part of the tree? It's the roots. So I
Exactly.
think people kind of overlook that. But I definitely, our hair, I tell people it holds our memories,
Mm-hmm.
our dreams, our thoughts, our creativity. It's like so much in our brain, so it pushes out through our hair. So, we must love it and connect with it.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely acknowledge what's happening on our heads and with our hair.
Definitely, like your hair is very long. I love it. And I always ask people with long hair, I'd be like, grab the tip and let me know, what were you thinking when they were this short? You got all the memories. And how did you
Right?
feel when they touched your
All
shoulder for
right.
the
So
first time?
so when my lock was this short, I
Right.
was just, this was probably my first month in, and I was thinking like, damn, I got a long way to go, and it seems like they're
And look at
just
that.
they're starting to come together now because they were separate at first, and they just
Okay.
started coming together. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
it's working. In my mind, I'm just
Right.
thinking it's working.
But
You
that's
know?
the message right there, though. You were separated and now you're coming together. You were finding your path. And that's why I
Mm-hmm.
always try to remind people like, your hair has every piece of your journey, every single day and night, shower experiences
Mm-hmm.
outside in the grass. Like what you went through, your hair went through it as well, and like trees, if they could talk, they would have a lot to
Oh,
tell.
so many stories. Yeah. So in fact, our hair is like a time machine when you look at it in that fact, right? There's a
Time
timeline there.
machine, genetic warping.
Yeah.
It holds a lot. Even the FBI, when they want to find something, they pluck a strand of your hair and
Yeah, really,
they
and
can
it
tell you where it
traces
came
back.
from,
Yep.
what you ate last night, everything.
That's so funny. So how did you find out about Not Nation?
Oh man. Honestly, I think one of my clients told me about you.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I was just doing research. I can't even lie. I don't even remember. But when I seen you, I was like, man, this guy's dope.
Yep.
Oh, I lied. You did an interview on Denzel Curry,
Yes.
my
Yes.
first wig client. And I
Oh,
seen it
okay.
and I was like, wait, I did his wigs. I started him. Hey, it's me. Hey.
That is
That's how
amazing.
I found you through my good client slash friend, Mr. Curry himself.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's amazing that you've kind of become this celebrity loctician around Florida where
He was my first client. I didn't even know he was a celebrity at the
oh,
time.
crazy.
Right, straight out of Brooklyn. I didn't know nothing about Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I just see a lot of strong black men with strong hair, and I was like, wow, I'm fascinated. And my love for hair just made me want to learn how to do them, but nobody would let me touch their hair.
Oh, crazy.
They were like, no,
So
miss,
so
no,
he
thank you.
so Denzel kind of blessed your career start there, and I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so. Being a Brooklyn native, we have a lot of like Rastafarians out there, and
Yeah.
I've witnessed them with their head wraps and longer hair. I would always
Mm-hmm.
talk to them about their locks, like, how'd you guys get your hair to grow so long? How do they, shape out that way? And they would just always break it down to me about how our hair was life and our spirituality and our health and our upbringing, and we must respect our hair as we respect everything else in the world. At the time, I was like, man, you need to separate that thing. It's all stuck together,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because being that I'm a beautician, you know, I always wanted to groom the hair, but I've always respected the natural strength of it. Like, man, it's so strong and it's so, you know, so it was always a curious journey for me going through the lock stage because I used to do smaller locks and stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to Florida, I was like, whoa, everybody got those big locks out here.
Crazy. So,
Wow, it's
so
a whole staple.
how did you get into doing wicks? How'd you start?
Well, like I said, I actually had one other person before Denzel that I did, but at the time I didn't even think about what I was doing. He was like, "Oh, can you make my locks thicker?" And I myself started with like thread because I was like, "How would I make his hair thicker?" Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really, you know the process of wicks or how they freeform, but I just knew I knew a lot of people who had them, so I tried his hair out. But he would come once in the blue, and then I met Denzel, you know, because after that I started seeing more and more people with it, and I'm like, man, I want to help these guys maintain
Okay.
their hair, you know, working at the Carol Mart in Miami Gardens, Carol City, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody would let me touch their hair. They're like, Miss, do you even know how to do these things? And I was like, no, I don't.
Oh
But I
shit.
am willing to learn if you allow me to. You know, I'm an honest hairstylist. I'm not gonna promote something that I don't know how to do. I'm not gonna play nobody's hair because I love hair, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But I had to convince everybody that I loved hair enough to let them let me do their hair. So Denzel was the first one who came in there. He was all happy and righteous spirit, and he was like, "Do you know how to do these?" And I was like, "No, but I've been trying to find somebody who lets me try." He's like, "All right, come on, let's just do mine." And I was like, "Yes, right on." So it was just on after that. You know, we went through our trials and tribulations, and then we got it.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of tribulations did you have to go through? I mean, you mentioned that you were starting with thread.
Yes, and rubber bands. So at first my idea naturally, I'm like, okay, he wants to make him thicker because he already had smaller locks, and his older brother passed away and he had wigs, and it was real symbolic to him. Like as a hairstylist, my goal was to fix bad hair days. So I was like, man, this is, you know, I had people who had weddings the next day, hair was messed up, and you know, it was always a story for me, like new beginnings and, you know, the butterfly effect, changing bad hair days to good. And I was like, all right, you know, he touched me with that story of his brother, and I felt it. I was like, Lord, just teach me how to do his hair, you know, to just show me a way. And the first thought was like, okay, lock them together with thread. So unlike other people who wrap the outside and mummify it, I would take a single strand thread and I would connect it from the inside of the lock so that it didn't show on the outside.
Okay.
And then for the roots, I didn't want to tie the thread around it because clearly it would suffocate and
Mm-hmm.
break. So I tried to use rubber bands. But when he was done, I was like, oh man, I just sent this grown man home with ponytails in his hair. Like, I felt so bad. Like, dang it, what am I gonna do? And you know, he would only come like once every 6 months to a year. I didn't know at the time that he was traveling and touring, so I just thought, hey, he didn't want to get his hair done that often. But when he would come back throughout the time, I would see the transition of the hair, and I'm like, the thread started squeezing it from the inside.
Okay.
It started deforming it, you know, depending on how the thread was shaped.
Mm-hmm.
And as it was expanding, the parts from the insides that had the thread didn't allow it to expand all the way. So it
Okay.
started giving it a crinkly, ripped, you know, tearing kind of look. And that became my concern. Like, oh gosh,
Huh.
this is not what I thought was going to happen. So, you know, I would try to figure out other ways. I continued to thread it, but it made me use less thread
Yeah.
because I realized that the thread was suffocating it. And then I just got tired of rubber band, but I didn't have no other idea of how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think after a whole year of me doing his hair, that's when the whole crochet thing came about, you know, and we've been crocheting ever since.
Crazy. So now you're able to do the wicks with just crochet and no thread, or you said you still use a little bit of
No
thread?
thread, no rubber bands,
Yeah.
no added hair,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even use hair products. I see a lot of people using like gel and spritz, and I use nothing. I do
Okay.
the hair completely dry, fresh and washed, and afterwards I just use castor oil for the roots and to
Okay.
stimulate the hair growth and to feed the hair.
Crazy.
It's awesome.
Well, speaking of castor oil, I mean, it is a often a highly recommended product for locks.
I recommend it to all my clients, but I use the Broner Brothers castor oil spray. So castor oil is very, very thick. In my country,
Mm-hmm.
we use it for everything, healing and all of that. But this is the one that I
Okay.
use, the Broner Bros Black Castor Oil. It has rosemary infused in it, which is really good for the scalp though. Castor plant itself is a very healing plant. You know, it's used for stomach problems,
Mm.
arthritis issues, skin and hair. So where I come from, we use it a lot. And it's always been something that helps not only to prevent dry scalp, but to help the hair grow in thicker,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and fuller. So that's why I use it, because our hair is so thick and it depends on the hair, the person. I would recommend how much they should use, or, you
Mm-hmm.
know, between the hair type. But most of our hair is really, really dry and absorbs it really, really fast. So, you know, the amount that we use and the consistency also plays a major role.
That's very interesting. Do you have any other products that you would recommend?
Far as hair moisturizer, like your hair, I would use coconut oil in your hair, and I
Mm-hmm.
would use castor. Yeah, I would use coconut for your roots, being
Mm-hmm.
that they're more silkier.
Okay.
And if I was to spray your ends, I would use castor oil, because it does help, even though the hair grows out and it's dead, to put a little bit of moisture, not too much,
Mm-hmm.
or of a thicker oil, because it will stay in there and it will create the gunk and the debris and the,
Right.
you know, just a light spray. You know, a little goes a long way with castor oil, and that's why I like the spray form, because it dilutes it just enough where you can consistently use it and it won't create that buildup like beeswax or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and even sometimes like a natural coconut grease for some people, because some people have really, really dry hair, you know, and we got to keep some type of moisture, but we don't want to oversaturate. So it's just a learning process. You know,
Okay.
you learn the hair, learn the habit of the person, and you know, you just give them directions what fit their lifestyle.
So you're really big on castor oil and coconut oil.
I love it. Oh my God, they come from the earth. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Exactly.
Coconut oil is used for everything. Coconut shampoos,
Yeah.
soaps, we eat it.
Tons of
I see my
uses.
mom cook a coconut into like 18 different meals, and she still made shampoo and stuff at the end. And I was like, I'm amazed.
Wow. Such a
Yeah.
such a resourceful plant
My mom's
for
an
sure.
herbalist. She will pick bushes and stuff, and she knows all that great stuff. So I myself, I'm trying to get my own line of products open.
Okay.
You know, that'll be really good.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Have you heard of a lady from New York, Naya the Lock God? Or
No.
no? Oh, she's doing really well with her own line of product recently as well. I thought maybe
Nice.
it could be some inspiration for you to look up her story.
Nice, nice. I
Yeah.
do see a lot of like natural um, locticians or just natural herbalists who make products, who I've been looking into. I've actually been studying a lot of like health plants and stuff. Like Florida contains 221 different natural herbal plants that are actually just not only good for hair and skin, but health wise,
Mm-hmm.
arthritis, you know, stomach pain, ulcers, and things that are healing naturally. You know, we want to put in our body things that are going to vibrate back to the world, you know. That's how we get our cosmic energies in line, and that's how we start being one with the earth and
Mm-hmm.
everything around us. You know, we respect it more.
For sure. And that reminds me of Peter Tosh, always on the Bush Doctor.
Okay.
He well, obviously Peter Tosh, right hand man with Bob Marley. A lot of his songs talking about bush medicine, and how
Yeah.
the earth actually supplies everything for us
I
to
think
heal
I actually
ourselves.
have the book that I could show you. It's an awesome book. It's actually a traditional book, more of a medicine book, natural herbal medicine book. And sorry, I'm going to my little prayer room. Here it goes. Yeah, because you know, naturally, before we inhabited in the United States, our culture leads us to, you know, finding our own remedies and
Hmm.
cures, not medications and stuff. But see if I can flip this camera around. So this has all the natural plants
Crazy.
in Florida, things that grow right outside our house that we probably let the landscapers cut down all day long. Like this one, it grows so much in Florida. Um, it signifies a lot, you know. In my traditions and where I come from, plants are not just medicines and teas and stuff. They're spiritual, like spiritual What should I say? Yes. Osane, he is the spiritual medicine um, guide for us
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But it's more than just a recipe and a hair product. These are things that could actually save our life.
Mm-hmm.
So studying that and understanding that and just putting what all my knowledge into my clients, it helps us grow
Mm-hmm.
together, like
Yeah,
the trees and the plants.
definitely.
So it's really good. You should check it out. 221 plants, herbs, trees, and essentials of the leukemia tradition.
Oh, yeah, definitely will. Definitely will. I love your crown that you're wearing right now. And you got the
Thank
gemstones in there. That is
you.
amazing.
Listen, her name is LOX on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
She is so amazing. She has done pieces for Erica Badu, XXX Tentacion, Queen Latifah, a lot of artists and stuff like that. She can rap anything. She's made this one. This is my third
Mm-hmm.
eye agate. I keep it on my throat chakra. Just
Cool.
everything that keeps us grounded. I like to energize my locks with them. you know, our stones are a lot. I tell people all that jewelry and stuff is great, but our stone energy, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
the goal is to be grounded with the world that we came from.
Definitely.
So
All right,
definitely.
so you're very into spirituality and the connection with hair in that sense.
Definitely, definitely. Without it, I don't think I would be who I am today. Learning who I am and where I come from and what I stand for and what I believe in pushes me to continue to be that and to continue to be that to other people
Mm-hmm.
and for them to continue to be, to just awaken ourselves, and to see that life is worth more than just social media and drama. Like, we're made here to love each other but first to love ourselves. That means find out who you are, find out where you come from, find out what you represent, be that person and live life to the fullest. Enjoy, grow your own food, collect your
Mm-hmm.
own water.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in life should be free how
Yeah.
God intended it to be. So I try to bring us back to culture. That's why, like, when it comes to me doing wicks and everybody saying, "Wick lady, you're the wick lady, why are your prices so low?" And I'm like, I've never heard nobody ask me why I'm not charging so much. And I'm just like, it's not about the money, even though I got bills to pay, but it's more or less me touching with kings and queens
For
and
sure.
spiritually, just communicating. A lot of my clients are business owners and entrepreneurs, and from the look of what they look like, you would never expect. And then the fact that I seen how police brutality was against people. Like, I do people's locks and they're like, "Oh gosh, I'm going to have to ride with my windows down." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Because as soon as police sees this through the tent or anything, you're getting pulled over." And I was like, that sucks.
Hmm.
Like, for you to be stereotyped because of your locks,
Yeah.
for somebody to look at you and be like, "Oh gosh, look at their hair. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
dreadful." Oh, dag, I'm a great person. Why would you, misjudge me off of what I look like? And that's what kind of motivated me. Like, hey, I can help everybody fix their hair. I don't want to change it. I want to help groom it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when they walk out into society, they can put on a suit. Like, I have a client, his name is Young Flag, local rapper from Palm Coast, dope as hell. You should check him out. But he puts on his suit and tie, tailor cut blazer shoes. And I'm like, yes, come through.
What?
Because he doesn't look like what a savage would, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh God. But he was like, wow, he's rocking those. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like the business professional with dreadlocks is like it's definitely
Yeah, so
attainable.
proud. Yeah, so it excites me, because I'm tired of hearing people talking about us like we're nothing, like, oh gosh, oh, this dusty person, or,
Mm-hmm.
like even some of the local rappers or what they want to call them trappers, like they may seem from appearances that they're just downright gritty, but these are some great people who got families, who
Mm-hmm.
got skills and traits, and I'm like, wow, I would have never thought, just the misjudgment of the hair, you know.
Yeah, and
But it's a great feeling to crown kings and queens.
yeah, for sure, and it's amazing to see just the culture growing so strong, where we're kind of dropping the stigmas day by day, in a
Yeah,
sense.
that's
By
my goal. I
yeah,
feel like
right.
I've been here 20 times before. I was like, "You've been here." I'm like, I feel it now. Like, I got my goal because I didn't think I was going to be doing this. I just started doing hair because my mom didn't know how to do it. I was like, "Mom, I can't go to school looking like this every day." And it became something amazing, my life's purpose. So,
Awesome. Did you well, how long have you had your locks for?
a year. A
1 year
year.
now.
Yes,
And
sir.
and how do you maintain them to keep them so thick and round without getting them flattened by the way you sleep?
I'm glad you asked that. So moisture is a part of the situation that helps locks becoming flat. So I don't wash my hair often. The most once a month. But I like to just let them free because I realize with a lot of my clients and just trial and error with my own hair after I locked it, just the moisture locks into it because our hair curls are so tight. That C4 curl pattern and it holds the moisture on the inside. Although sometimes the outside may feel dry, I always tell my clients when you wash your hair, you know how the puppy comes out the shower and shakes it. You gotta shake your hair
Mm.
because when you think that they're dry, they are definitely not. Because our hair is so coarse but yet so soft, and it's amazing.
Mm.
And really, like, water is, it's liquid. How could it sit in your hair? Because our hair is so strong that it can literally hold water drops in it. So I always tell people, make sure you dry out your hair completely, because if not, then that moisture that's inside
Mm-hmm.
is making it soft enough. Now the pressure of your head is laying on it, it flattens it from the inside. So
Okay.
the more and more you wash your hair and don't dry it, that's what starts to happen. You start getting the flatter locks. So I always recommend washing it when the sun rises. So that
Yeah.
way, if you can't stay at home with a blow dryer, because I don't really like the blow dryer heat anyway, if necessary, I guess, for shorter hair people. But with longer hair people, I always tell them, like, you can use a towel to get the heavier water out, but I don't keep the towel on your head, because that's how the lint goes in your hair, and that's how you start having the little lint patches.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also shake your hair, like, how you beat the rug and you shake everything out. Shake the hair, shake it, shake it,
Mm-hmm.
shake it, and then let it air dry in the sun all day. But before you lay down, make sure you shake it one more time and that there's no moisture coming out. Like, I remember one time I washed my hair and I thought it was dry 4 hours later, and something was like, shake your head, and I shook it and I swear it was wet. Like, I never tried it, and I was like, gosh. So definitely trial and error.
Do you ever come across clients that have a lot of buildup in their locks?
Definitely, definitely. I have a lot of people with smaller locks and bigger locks, from people that they went to that didn't know what to use. And I think that's my main concern with a lot of people that are not only just trying to do wigs, that just do hair, period. Like, okay, we know grooming and cosmetics is always going to be needed. So, don't steer your clients in the wrong direction. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know something, allow people to understand that you don't know, and you will continue to grow to learn and teach them as well. But a lot of people just do hair, just do it just to get money, and
Yeah.
they put all types of stuff in your hair. They do whatever. Okay, looks good. Goodbye. Thank you. Pay me. See you again in a month.
Yeah.
Like, I see my clients every 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll tell them, don't come back next month. No, I want
Mm-hmm.
to see you in 6 months. Let's
Mm-hmm.
let the hair grow. Let's let it breathe. So like I said, I don't put heavy products and stuff like that. But it is kind of hard trying to get that buildup out. A lot of people like to use apple cider vinegar, which is
Mm-hmm.
okay, but I wouldn't recommend using it often because of the high acid in the
Yeah.
vinegar and stuff like that. It'll dry out your hair a lot. And especially if you're not putting moisture back in it. A lot of people wash it and don't re-moisturize
Right.
it. And, it becomes dry and it starts to break. And then, of course, the roots, if they're not maintained properly, that's where it starts thinning. So no matter how thick this is,
Mm-hmm.
if the roots aren't thick as well, then you might as well start kissing them goodbye.
Well, what technique might you use instead of ACV, apple cider, to get out the buildew, the buildup?
Well, I do use ACV. I add a little bit of baking soda to try to get it out. But naturally, you can't get everything out. That's like trying to rewrite your past. You can fix a few things, but
Mm-hmm.
certain things there you can't change. And it's a reminder of what not to do in the future. So sometimes it'll start coming out on its own slowly as you wash. But I do recommend an ACV rinse just once a month. You feel me? Soak it thoroughly, add enough baking soda so we can lift it up.
Mm-hmm.
And after you got it in, there's one of these scrub brushes that you could probably take it out. But I don't like to break the bonds of the locks too much,
Okay.
because I feel like it makes it weak. So I don't try to overexert it just for the prettiness. Like the Rastas say, I'm not into no fashion dread,
Mm-hmm.
like this is it. We're going to rock it, take out the heavier ones we can. But other than just, it's hair. when the lint got in there, before the lint got in there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the memories, and we grow, you know, it's like the past of your hair, the history of your hair.
Yeah,
Hair story, that's what we're going to call it.
the
The
hair,
hair story.
the hair stories, the hair chronicles. Um, what, who's been like? What sort of clients have you come across? I mean, you've mentioned Denzel was your first. I know you've done people like Spot 'em, Got 'em. You know, what
Yeah.
other sort of I guess artists have you come across that people might
Well,
know
I've
of?
been blessed to touch most of the Florida rappers. You know, Raw Youngin, I've done his hair. Julio, I saved his hair. I love it now. It's grown so great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we connected it. Lil Pootie, I've done his hair.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Soldier, um, Tafia, he's a rapper out there in Florida. Deuce Uno. Like, I've done most of these Florida. Glock 9, I just recently did his hair
Okay.
right before he got arrested. Sucks, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
But football players. But I think most of my actual greatness comes from my local clients, my local rappers, up and coming
Mm-hmm.
rappers, you know, just the people who are out there like really thugging it, you know, and that's what really got me my celebrity clients and stuff like that. So I love all my clients. They're all great people, whether they're on the TV 24/8 or, you know, landscaping or, you know, trucking or,
Mm-hmm.
I meet great people all the time because of these wicks. They're amazing.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're in it for the culture and not for the profit. You're
Yeah,
truly trying to help people out and spread some
I
knowledge.
am. It's a blessing, man. Like my goal with this at first, you know, we had small goals, but being that I've been the wick lady, my mind has expanded so much to just wanting to learn more and wanting to do more. And my goal is to like invest in land and start a currency an electronic free community where we
Mm-hmm.
all go back to living normally. And I will invest my money into building the foundation, the houses, because we're not going to live in tents. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's too hot. We're not going to do the bug thing. Wintertime is too cold. But I would invest in the foundation of it. But like behind every house, I want to build gardens for everybody to continue to grow. And, you know, so my goal is to build a nation, literally, a nation. And with the help of my clients, some of them are electricians and engineers. So, you know, we will all come together. I tell people, not everybody's going to be invited, you know, sad to say, but it's the truth because not everybody has the same goal and will push towards the same cause. However, eventually in life, we all come to a point, you know, whether young or old, it's like, you know, you tap into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So people who have tapped into themselves, more than welcome. People who are still trying, you know, I'm not denying it, but I want people to push to know self. And I think that's another reason why I don't push to teach people how to do Wix, because I know that they want just the money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll pay you $1,000 to teach me. Oh, I'll give you my whole income tax check. Why? Because you're going to go back around and charge 2,000 and 3,000 a head,
Mm-hmm.
5,000 a head. You know, it sucks. Like, not everybody's a rapper.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a trapper.
Mm-hmm.
People work regular jobs and, you know, to maintain a hairstyle at $5,000 a head, and then how often do I got to come in? Every month, every 6 months? What the
Yeah.
touch up look like? Do I get a free oil change? Like, it's
Okay.
outrageous. Okay, it's mortgage money.
Yeah.
It's my hair.
Yeah.
When
Seriously.
the style itself was naturally free form, meaning that it's been free since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, why would I pay you $5,000 to try to freeform my hair when I could just let it freeform itself, you know?
And that
So,
brings me to my next question. Was I
yeah.
wanted to know the difference between like a wick that grows naturally
Uh-huh.
versus a wick that has been manipulated with the crochet hook.
Okay. Well, for me, my wigs personally, like I said, all my clients only come once every 6 months. A natural freeform is just mainly how you just let your hair mat. A lot of people who have freeform locks started with the sponge brush.
Mm-hmm.
And the little curls and the coils start to lock from the roots. And throughout time, they probably like, oh man, my hair is getting stuck together. They'll separate it here. But they still won't do nothing to it. You feel me? Never get it done. And that's how it'll naturally freeform. But with mine, I try to give it a more structured look, like I said, because in society, you know, that freeform look, even though it's being embraced now, people still tend to be like, well, can you put a comb through that thing? Or, you
Mm-hmm.
know, can we look presentable? A lot of my clients, they go in and out of the courthouse and they're going to jail because the judge is looking at them like, you did it, I don't care, look at your hair, you know. So I try to maintain a parted, cleaner look to show people like, hey, I do groom myself. I'm not just running around the streets. I don't care about myself, even though my hair shouldn't matter, you know. But with my locks that I do with the crochet, I just give it a steady foundation. Instead of allowing your hair to hold on to itself, I give it a direction. And then, like I said, once every 6 months to a year, my clients come back. But by then, it's like, being that they go to work and they do what they got to do, their hair starts free forming on its own. Like my hair naturally, like I split my fingers a little bit because I kind of wanted the looser look. You feel me? But the foundation of the round look was just to build the thickness and the solitude of the hair.
Right.
But naturally, like as I let them, I don't know if you see the picture I posted yesterday when I had them up in a little ponytail, and if I leave them like that, they'll continue to lock that way. Okay. So it is still free form. I help it form in a direction, you feel me? But the choice is yours to let it just rock out. Because some of my clients don't like to get their hair done off. They're like, no, I'm just wait a year. And I'm like, okay, see you in a year. Make sure you just wash it and moisturize it. And, you know, if you don't want them to turn into one big lock, separate them from time to time. But, you know, they're not supposed to be overworked, though.
No.
I see a lot of people going through that, the tight wick look, the tight little balls, and I call them goat nipples. Sorry, that's what they look like to me, you know, because some people, you know, they don't know what they're doing, so they just crocheting and crocheting. It's like sometimes less is more, you know. I'm trying to get people to learn natural life lessons through hair.
Big time. I love the amount of people that reach out to you just saying, the Wick lady, I need you. It's like post after post after post of people just needing you.
I love it too. It can be overwhelming sometimes. Like I'm still stuck on being this hairstylist from Brooklyn, you know, but when I go outside, I'm in the mall, I'm at the, you know, I'm at a hotel or I'm in a restaurant. Aren't you the Wick lady? And I'm like, yeah. That's me. Hey, my husband needs an appointment. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Hey, tell him to go through Instagram. You know, it's a lot to take care of by myself, you know, because I never imagined it would get this far. However, I do try to let people know, like, being a Wick lady has taught me not only how to be more spiritual and be closer to God, but patience. You know, we can't, like, freeform locks, they come through patience and time. So please don't rush me to freeform, or, you know, like, just give us time.
Yeah, true.
Give me time. Time is the only thing that I can't get back, you know. So that's the only thing I charge for is my time. But I tell people, messing with me, you're going to learn patience. And those who want to curse me out and talk crap about me, it's because they don't have no patience and they can't wait. And I'm like, you know what? I should give you guys a job, okay? And then because it's so crazy. I have, like, the barber that I work with, Weezy the barber, and my sisters and my cousin, and they're like, you know what? I shouldn't have never told nobody that I know you, because they're getting calls from me. People are trying to book appointments through them. They're like,
oh, wow.
My cousin's like, everywhere I go, they're like, ain't you the Wick lady's cousin? Tell her I need an appointment. And I'm like, oh, it's hectic for them. But I was like, hey, you guys wanted to go around doing everything.
Yeah, really.
So, yeah, but it's a blessing. I love it tremendously.
Well, with your business going now, I mean, or your life in general, what can you attain your success to? Like, what has made you so successful in life?
Just believing in myself and in my ancestors, and you know, just giving all thanks to God. I prayed for this. I tell people all the time, being the Wick lady has taught me how to pray. I remember doing women's hair and braids, and I just moved to Daytona because I wasn't even doing wicks like that. Denzel was my only client for about 2 and 3 years. So I was just like, Lord, I want something that's for me. Something that's going to allow me to express, because like I said, I'm a psychology major. My goal is to always communicate, talk to people, make people have greater days, you know, help them find self. But I always loved doing hair as a talent and a natural hobby that I had. So I would always pray, like, can I just give me something where I could do everything that I love all at once, while still finding myself and still giving you all the praise so that people can understand that you're amazing. And then this little whisper came in my ear, like, be the Wick lady. And I was like, what? Be the Wick lady. And then I stopped and I had to think about it, like, because when I got to Daytona, I got one client, his name is Lakani, a local rapper from Broward who moved out here, and he was like, do you know how to do these Kodak knots? That's what they were calling them, Kodak knots. And I was like, well, actually I do. I have one client that I've been doing, so, you know. And then I did his hair, and then he referred everybody, and then it just, like a virus, kind of like corona, it spread too fast. You know, but it just kept going. And I was like, wow. And then the thought was like, hey, 99% of people in Florida have wicks. You are the
Wow.
wick lady.
Literally,
There's
is
nobody
that what you think?
doing wicks. I've
99?
heard of people doing locks and threading and rubber band, and and that's what it was. I came out with the no thread, no rubber band wicks, because it's not like people weren't doing wicks.
Mm-hmm.
They were, but they never promoted it as, oh, I'm the wick lady, or I specialize in just wicks. They were doing it as regular dread styles, but a lot of people that they were doing, their hair were damaging. So when I came out with the wick lady page, I was like, okay, well, because a lot of my clients are like, people keep asking me, I'm not giving them your number, it's annoying. And I was like, let me just make an Instagram and I'm gonna call myself the wick lady, because one of my clients, he would always call me the woo lady, like, you got that woo magic, girl. I was like, that's scary, okay?
Woo magic.
Somebody came over like, I thought you were an old lady, he said you were the woo lady, and I was like, creepy. No. But I adapted the wick lady name, and it spread it out really, really fast. And I still, to this day, like, I'm just starting to really, like, hey, you're the wick lady, everybody knows you. And I'm like, wow, this really happened. He gave me what I asked for, but what I should have prayed for was help. And it has taught me how to pray a little bit better. Like, Lord, just, okay, I'm gonna be a wick lady, and just, I want to do celebrities, and I want to be this famous hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
And tell God your plans, and he'll laugh at you, because he was like, oh yeah, voila. And all at once, I'm like, whoa, okay, wait a second, there's thousands of messages I can't get to. I need an assistant, I need this. And he was like, no, you just wanted to be the wick lady. So yeah, just my faith in God, and my spiritual faith in my ancestors, and just finding my calling in life. We all have a calling, whether it be a hairstylist, a doctor, a teacher, a blogger like you who teaches. And I love you. And I was like, man, this guy, I gotta get him to do me an interview.
Appreciate that so much.
Everybody, he is dope. Oh my God, I gotta get Knot Nation. So manifestation.
Definitely.
Being that, it shows me that that energy is real. You ask for something, you receive it, because you ask for it with the deepest parts of your heart. It's what we desire deep down inside is what we receive. So, I got what I asked for.
Yeah, definitely. So that what I get from that is, when you get a calling and you get an insight, like, follow your intuition and and trust it.
Yeah.
And go with it.
You got to. Our intuition is everything. I always tell people, like Erykah Badu says, if we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellect do not believe in God, but the fear is just the same. And it's true. If we were made in God's image, then call us by our names. We have that ability inside of us, but we block it and distract ourselves with all the worldly things, and I'm not big on religion, but spirituality, I know what God created is beautiful, and everything that was created in his image is beautiful. We are beautiful. We are great. Before slavery, we were royalty, okay, coming to America,
For sure.
Before that, they stripped us of our glory. So I'm trying to help everybody remember the glory, and claim their positions.
No, for sure. Sorry, Marla, can I pause you for 1 second?
Not a problem.
Hey, I'm back.
Gotcha.
So, touching on the culture, like you're mentioning that you said 99% of people in Florida have wicks. What is it about Floridians that love the wick culture so much, and why is it so, like, thriving out there?
You know what? I want to give out to, like, all of just the Caribbean islands who live in Florida. There's a lot of Jamaicans and Haitians and stuff like that. And like I said, back in our countries, we've been wearing thick locks like this. Even though it wasn't promoted, it's always been a lifestyle. And, when the movie Shotters came out and everybody, it's just a lifestyle. I feel like because Florida is, was one of the slavery states, last states to really go through, it represents their strength. their struggle, you know, like people who
Mm-hmm.
are out there fighting to live, you know, fighting to fend, fighting to grow, you know, they wick their hair, you know, not because it was just naturally absorbing to us. Like I post those indigenous Africans who had them, you know, even though we may have not been taught that this is what we are, subconsciously our spirit always goes back to what we know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where we get those creative thoughts. That's where we get those, you know, I tell people God doesn't transcend every day somebody dies and opens up the gates of heaven. So all our ancestors from every walks of life, I feel like their energies are still here, and that's what gives us the creative thought, you know, like you're about to run down the wrong road and something tells you to go left instead of going right, turn
Mm-hmm.
down this way, you know, that intuition. So once you start to follow it and embrace it, you know, things make more sense to you. Just make it make sense in life, you know. 1+1 is 2, so you're not going to tell me it's 6, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what we feel, if we can't see it, we can feel it. If we can't feel it, we can taste it. You know, all of our senses will tell us what's right. You know, when
Mm-hmm.
everything adds up and it feels perfect, then you know that's it. You know, so just generally that following ourselves and what we love. And what I love about Floridians is that they just have that, this is us.
Yeah.
We're not trying to impress nobody. This is us. I like my hair this way.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
this is me, you know, like, oh, okay, that's what's up, you know. And then when I started to realize that these people aren't just homeless people on the street, or, you know, these people are really doing things with their life, you know, entrepreneurs, like I said, business owners, or, you
Mm-hmm.
know, even the trappers and the rappers, you know, like they are living for something, you know, and striving for it, and they stand firm on it. And where I come from in New York, we had a few rosters who had hair, but mostly everybody cut off their hair, low
Mm-hmm.
boys and stuff. So for me as a black woman to come to Florida and see all these black men with strong hair, I'm like, wow, they got more hair than the women out here. Like, you girls are bald headed. Stop putting this stuff in your hair, killing
Kill me.
yourself. Like, what in the world, you know? And it just showed me discipline, determination, patience, strength, and love, self-love. Like, you don't care what your hair looks like? No, I love my hair. You don't care what nobody thinks about you? No, I don't care what nobody thinks, you know? And that's what just made me like, wow, I respect that. I really understood after that, like, you know, what the Rosses meant. We're not with the fashion dreads, you know? We're not into forming our hair or twisting it and styling it and hurting it, because even a retwist, it puts strain on your roots, you know? So why would I hurt myself or my hair to please others? Even the Bible says you can't please man, so why would I destroy myself to make you happy?
Yeah.
You know?
That's straight
So
up.
that's why I
That's
ended up locking my hair, because I was like, you know what? It's about time. I love these wicks. I love how they look. I love what they represent. And I need all my edges. I need all my
yeah.
hair. I'm tired of the weave. I'm
Yeah,
tired of
yeah.
funding China. Okay. You
Okay.
know, why not? Imagine if we, like I said, I want to start my own community. Imagine if we disappear and we're not buying stuff from nobody, and we're
Mm-hmm.
supporting each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we're growing our own food, and we're wearing our natural hair. Like, I swear the government's going to be like, where is everybody going?
Yeah, seriously.
China's going to be like, no hair, no, no, no. It's like, no, we're good with the way we are. We are good how we are. Okay. And my stepfather, he's great with the garden and stuff. And I got some bell peppers growing on the side of my house. And it's just amazing. Like, I don't even got to go to the grocery store
No,
no more.
seriously,
All I
yeah.
need is a few chickens and stuff, non-GMO, non-steroids, none of that. You know, the longevity of life is what's pushing me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just to wake up all my brothers and sisters. Like, I would love to see everybody natural, and I would love to see everybody just really embracing life, like, you know, letting go of the stress. I got bills to pay, I got this to
Mm-hmm.
pay. Nah, it's so stressful. It's like, can we just live, you know? Even
Exactly.
though the Africans back in the days, they didn't have all the fancy stuff. Well, they did, because all the jewels and stuff came from Africa, but they were happy, you know? They came together, they taught each other, they kept their history and traditions alive, they taught their children, and they gave them a sense of survival skills that they need. Like I tell people, God forbid the polar caps melt and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no more air to breathe, and the food runs out the store. What are you guys going to do?
Yeah.
How are you going to eat? How are you going to survive? Like, I'm going hunting, you know, I get my rifles. I start to learn how to, you know, I'm teaching myself survival, you know, because we got to live, but we must survive at the same time. You know, it just depends on what we're living for.
Definitely. How many locks do you have on your head?
20.
20 exactly.
Yeah, I
Nice.
started off with 50 little ones. I posted
Oh,
a video where I took them out because I was like, nah, these things are too small. I want them fat and dookie. Like I just,
yeah, yeah.
so I took those out and I relocked them. I started with 22, but I felt like the symmetry of it. You know, at the time I was still learning, perfecting my craft, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, you know, I don't want them all uneven. So I did a even amount so they could all grow out the same size. But now I'm like, well, I should just stick these two together, leave this one free, and you know, because it's just beautiful. You know, you start to enjoy the beauty of them, and you really don't care how they grow after a while because they're growing and they're strong and they're healthy. As long as you maintain the roots, that is
Mm-hmm.
definitely a number one thing. I see a lot of people out there overlooking and not explaining to their clients how to maintain, how to take care of their hair. And a lot of the stylists don't know how to maintain the roots as well. You know, they're still rubber banding. A lot of people are stealing my slogans, no thread, no rubber bands, but they're still threading and rubber banding. And I'm like, when my legal paperwork's come in, I just want everybody to stop using that. So you'll hear people say, oh, Wick Lady blocks all the hairstylists. It's not that I block them because I dislike them or I dislike their work. I just don't want you to taint what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get everybody back to self. And being that you guys are trying to get dollars, you are misleading people and destroying their hopes and dreams for a better, stronger hair. So I
Mm-hmm.
just try to keep them off of what I'm doing. And I always tell them, if you're going to do wigs, by all means, just do them how you know how to do them. Be honest with your clients and promote it that way, you know, because when they come and they're like, oh yeah, the other wick lady, and I'm like, the other wick lady, I'm the only wick lady. You know, you got people who combine locks and stuff like that, but to wick hair, it's a different process.
What's the number one
Definitely.
thing for maintenance on the roots that you could suggest?
It's really not a maintenance thing, it's just how it's done.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of people try to like, okay, so the lock combining thing is what really got people trying to do wicks because somebody showed them what a crochet needle was. So everybody who knew how to do a lock extension or lock repair, they're like, oh, I know how to crochet, I could do that. And oh, I could, you know, and that's what it became. But it's like, in order to do wicks, you got to know what they require,
Mm-hmm.
the stability, the strength, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So you got to know how to stabilize the roots and then stabilize the wicks, which is a part of my technique that I'll, you know, teach eventually, you know, to people who actually definitely want to learn. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got to show me that you're not about just a dollar,
For
you
sure.
know. You got to show me it's about the strength of people and us growing as a nation.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I'll teach people. But for right now, I feel like if I teach people, they're just only going to do it for the money. And, you know, they're not going to take the time that I put in. And then I'm going to have a lot of people like, Wick Lady, she said you taught her. Look at
Mm.
my hair. And I got a million other people to speak for it now. And it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh.
true. No, it's very inspiring the way that to hear the way that you're running your business and wanting to help people out. I'll be
I
honest,
love it.
I'll definitely be one of those people that would love to learn the technique to
Yeah,
help people out in the future.
definitely.
You know.
Yeah, see, so with our roots, it's like, you know, they always grow in softer
Mm-hmm.
because it's the freer part of our hair. So
Yeah.
the goal for our roots is to reconnect it to the wick
Okay.
and make it strong.
Right.
You
Right.
know, it's like building a skyscraper with two little pegs at the bottom. It's gonna fall over.
Yeah.
So we got to stabilize our foundation. Without a foundation, nothing works in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so foundation is everything.
What sort of names do they come up with for wicks out there? I know there's a whole ton of different.
I done heard wicks, mats, bunks, bodies, uh,
You said Dookie
all
a second
types of
ago.
dookies. That's what
Yeah,
I used to call them.
Dukes.
From New
Yeah.
York, we used to call them dookies, Kanuku locks, Congo locks, you know, but out here, I know in Broward, they call them bodies. And in Miami, mostly is wicks or mats. I know
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville, they call them mats and stuff like that. Bonks.
Bonks.
With the
Yeah.
smaller ones, they call them bonks, like the
Yeah.
knots that people were calling Kodak knots. They call them bonks and stuff like that.
I've
Because
heard
this little
flats
bonk
too.
start, yeah, flats. You know,
Yeah.
just depends on how they grow. I guess that's how they
Okay.
started getting the different. You know, the bigger ones they would call them bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and like the fingers, the chicken fingers. Some people call them regular
Okay.
fingers or palm trees, or you know,
Palms.
Miami
Yeah.
they call them chicken fingers and stuff. You know, so however they see it, you know. It
Yeah.
was the perception of people who created it, you know. But like I said, it all just generated from those islanders that used to be down in Dade County, and top shotters, and you know, those gangsters out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though people may look at gangsters as a bad thing, each gangster is out there trying to fend for their family,
Yeah.
trying to survive. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
because
yeah.
of whatever history they may have. You know, they have to live a certain lifestyle, but that doesn't mean that they're not good people. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that they, you know, are just wicked or nasty or, you know, whatever like that. So
Definitely. Did you ever
yeah,
get to work on Kodak's hair?
I know it's so crazy because I was writing him when I first started, and I was going in and Kodak. I used to jump on all his live videos like, follow me. I'm all caps in it. Wick lady, no thread, no rubber bands, no thread, no. And one day I seen him reading, and I was like, yes, he's reading my comments. And I was going crazy. And then 2 weeks later, he ended up getting his hair done, and I was like, no. Who did that to Kodak's hair? Why would she do that to him? Gave him little nipples and goat nipples, you know. But I actually spoke to Betty Boop, the girl who was doing his hair for a long time.
Okay.
And she was just letting me know at the time she didn't know who I was. And she referred him to somebody else, you know. And it was the crazy thing about it. I was at Rolling Loud. I got my Rolling Loud tickets. I'm Kodak's going to be at Rolling Loud. I got my flyers made. I was ready. I was throwing them everywhere, Rolling Loud. And I was just promoting, you know, just trying to build my business. The funny thing about this, I didn't know who Jack Boy was. I was still fresh from New York. I was on the car that Kodak Black was in getting arrested at Rolling Loud.
Okay.
I was like, leave them alone. They're going in there to see Kodak. And I see through the tent of the car, because there was lights, I seen Wicks in the car. So I was like, here, take my cars. But not knowing that it was Kodak sitting in the car that whole time, and Jack Boy was on the hood of the Porsche. I was just trying to get people to follow me and build my clientele and stuff. Like, wow. So when I got in there, they were like, Kodak Black got arrested outside. And I was like, was that the nah? And then I see the arrest later on, and I was like, hey, that's the guy I was next to. Like, Jack Boy, his best friend. I was like, so Kodak was in the car. Oh. But, you know, I was closer than I thought. So. But then that was just my goal. Like, okay, Kodak he's there, but there's so much other people, you know, and he knows so much other people. And, you know, it was like, if I do all the local people and, you know, people who knew him, and it would grow. And that's how it started. I started doing friends of a friend of a friend, and everybody would refer me like, yo, she got magic hands. She's not using no thread, no rubber band. That slogan right there has taken me so far. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not even the fact that I do wigs. It was the no thread, no rubber band. Like, what? No thread, no rubber. And she could stick them up in the air?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah. So everybody was excited to see, like, nah, I got to see this for myself. Because they were like, how is she doing? I was like, I don't tell nobody. You book your appointment, you come and you'll see it, you know. So it's been a journey. It's been a blessing. It's been amazing. I love it.
How long?
Then I get to meet you.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
Win-win. How long do they stay sticking up for after you do a session?
Well, it just depends on how my clients take care of it. A lot of people say about like a month, you know, but you know, after when moisture hits it, gravity kicks in and stuff like that. But it also just depends on the texture of the hair. The drier the hair is, the more it will stand up, you know, because it's lighter actually. Even though it's drier, the density and the heaviness of it is not going to weigh it down. Far as silkier hair, where porosity level is way higher and it holds water and moisture, it'll drop faster. But I can pretty much stick up anybody's hair if I need to.
I've noticed you've gone from all the hair types pretty much.
Listen, thanks to Denzel, because he was like, I want you to make me look like a Super Saiyan. And I was like, golly, how am I going to do this? But, you know, I love doing hair, and I was always into, like, fashion hair shows and, like, you know, crazy arts. And I was like, I got to figure it out. And it's crazy because my sister taught me about the crochet needle to do, like, Caucasian locks. And the first time I used it, I stabbed myself so hard. My hand was bleeding. I couldn't use it for like 2 months. I was like, screw this. I don't care about their locks. I don't care. I'm just going to do regular hair. Screw it, you know. And a year went by. I met Denzel. I was doing his hair. That whole time I was doing his hair, not one time did the crochet needle come across my mind. It was when I made him come to my cousin's house one day to do his hair because I was busy. I couldn't go to the shop. And he came, and my cousin's friend was like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, who, my client Denzel? He was like, no. Denzel Curry. I was like, oh, okay. He was like, no, he's a rapper. I was like, okay. He's like, no, double XL, 21 Savage, Kodak Black rapper. And I was like, oh, okay. And I started Googling him and I was like, oh, look at my work all over the internet. Oh my God. I need to do something. This is not good. You know, he's all over the world, all over TV. They're going to be looking at his head and then they're going to see me. And I'm like, God. And, you know, I had to have that talk with God again. Like, I need to make this better. And he was like, that little needle that stabbed you in the finger. And I was like, the little needle that stabbed me in the finger. And I was like, oh, the little needle. You know, everything made it make sense, you know, like, so definitely.
It's inspiring. Everything happens for a reason.
I'm telling you. Right? I used to always say that, like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? I always tell people, I questioned myself a lot growing up, like, God, why would you put me in these weird situations? Like, I just paid $20,000 or so for tuition to go to school. Now I'm doing hair. Like, yeah. What is going on? And he was like, stop questioning me. I got something planned for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And
yeah.
I got it after a while. I need to touch souls with all the kings and queens of the world. And he was like, you're a great spirit. Spread the greatness. And I was like, okay, it's my job every day. Not to do hair, but to spread greatness.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I truly appreciate you actually coming on as a guest. Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you if you had any value that you could just add to this segment, whether it's life philosophy or just hair information, just some sort of value that you attained in your life that you would love to share.
Okay, well, I would definitely want to tell everybody to just love yourself. You know, I always tell people, I can tell your whole life story by your hair. And they're like, you're joking. And I'll touch somebody's hair and I'll tell them what they've been through and tell them they're transitioning. They're like, how'd you know? Because how we take care of ourselves, it shows through our hair. When we're sick, our hair falls out. When we get old, our hair gets gray. You know, somebody who's maintaining themselves, they groom themselves. Somebody who, you know, you can tell by the way their hair is. So when you think of your hair, just think about yourself, you know, and just always let your dreams and your thoughts just manifest through it, you know. Continue to be yourself. Who cares what anybody has to think? Love yourself. And that's what makes people love you. You know, I tell a lot of people all the time, they're like, oh, I want to be like this celebrity. I want to be like that celebrity. I'm like, you know how they got famous? By being themselves, you know? Don't try to be nobody else. Be yourself and just be free. Enjoy life, you know? Learn yourself, love yourself, and just let it grow like your hair. Just let it grow, you know?
It's an amazing piece of knowledge there. We thank you for that.
I appreciate it.
And lastly, I just wanted to ask you, for future podcasts, who would you recommend that I could get on the show or you would like to see on the show to chop it up with?
I'm sorry, ask that one more time.
Like, for future episodes of this show, who would you like to see as a guest?
Oh, man. There are so many people. You touched a lot of great people. I'm like, man, you helped me find a lot of people too. I'm like, oh man, like Dread I'm trying to get in touch with him. He's awesome, super dope artist. I'm actually trying to get him to do me a painting because I have some stuff that I want to drop out, merchandises and stuff, but just his creative art, you know. I think you just did something on him recently. He's awesome. And I don't know, everybody's great to me. I feel like I find the peace and the greatness out of everybody. So you just keep doing your greatness. Oh my God, people call, I see you on Knot Nation. I see you doing. Because of you, I have people coming from all over the world. I'm crazy. Like, wow, I sponsor on Knot Nation. I'm like, remind me to send him a care package, okay?
Cool.
Because it's dope. But, you know, anybody you post, I'm going to watch, you know, because you yourself are a blessing. You know, you help a lot of people who don't know about locks and who want to know about locks. And I think that's just amazing in what you do, you know, and I can tell through your journey and your lock journey, it's helped others on theirs. And look, being a blessing to yourself makes you a blessing to others, you know, and that's
Definitely.
just all.
Oh, much appreciated. And yeah,
definitely.
And it's hard. It's actually, it's refreshing to hear that because, you know, from doing this type of work from behind a computer screen, I don't often get to see the direct results or meet the people that have actually gone through it.
They talk about you everywhere.
You know?
everywhere. You're
So
like
that's,
famous.
that's good
You're
to
not
hear.
nation. You
Not
know,
nation.
you're dope, man. You're definitely dope.
Yeah.
And you are a part of my story, you know, and I
Mhm.
love that because you definitely put me out there and, you know, and you definitely help people get the insight on Wix. And it's amazing, you
Blessed.
know,
Yes. Much love for
definitely,
that. Oh man.
definitely.
I've had a blast chopping it up with you today, Marla.
Yes, me
You know, I
too.
look forward to more collaborations in the future. You
Yes,
know.
yes, definitely, definitely. I got a few things that I'm planning, but you know, if my clients will give me time to plan it properly, then
Mhm.
we'll get things on the road. But definitely, there's going to be so much more from
Yeah.
just the nation itself.
For sure.
Oh, one
Amazing.
thing can
Yeah.
I add? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coloring the hair,
Okay.
please, I don't recommend it. I
Yes.
see a lot of people, oh, let me color my hair, and it destroys the hair. It definitely does.
Mhm.
I've been using what I'm trying to come out my own line though, like a spray hair color,
Okay.
temporary color. I recommend that to anybody who wants to do a color. So just use it. It washes off, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
it won't destroy the hair like the bleach and stuff breaking through it.
Right.
I see a lot of people with the fashion and the colors and the craziness, and then they wonder why later on one of their locks are smaller than the other,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, because the chemicals are still breaking down the melanin bonds and they can't be restored unless you grow back new hair. So
Mhm.
we need to add that in there because I see a lot of damage, and then they're calling me like, "Wick lady, can you fix this?" Uh,
Yeah. Really.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. So
Yes.
avoid bleach
Oh
at all
no,
costs.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Anything that can sit in the lock. I always tell people, if you're gonna dye your hair, do it before you lock your hair,
Mhm.
because in order, like, if the water itself gets stuck in the hair, and that's the thinnest of the liquids we have. So
Mhm.
imagine what the chemicals are doing just sitting in there
Yeah.
months at a
Sitting there
time
burning away slowly.
from the inside, you know,
Yeah.
especially with the bleach. They, oh, it's washed out now. I bet you if you put it in water some more, you'll see it turn white still and then it'll come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't recommend that. You know, just naturally black is the healthiest.
For sure.
Don't break the melanin bonds, moisturize,
Mhm.
and try not to overwash. If you're somebody who works outside, because I have a lot of clients who work outside or they sweat a lot from their head, you
Mhm.
know. I tell people to wear a cap when they start growing their hair to maintain it so it won't mess up as fast. However, if you do sweat a lot, just allow the hair to dry because, like I said, the moisture creates the flatness in the hair, and also if you have products in it, it'll leave that mildewy smell if not properly dried. So,
Mhm.
yep, yep.
No,
I
makes
think that's
sense.
fun.
Yeah, that makes sense totally.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
for sure. Okay. Well, I'll let you go. You
Yes,
know,
I appreciate you. Much love and
yeah,
peace, King, on your journey.
for sure. I appreciate that. Peace and love, and stay
Definitely.
happy and natty. You know, and we will
Yes.
connect again soon.
Yes, not nation.
All right. Peace out.
All right.
Yes.